Hey friends, in today's video, I'm not going to try to convince you that this is like a really strong, potent loadout, but it is in a certain skill bracket, the copper bracket, the lower skill bracket. This loadout dominates. It's an Osteostriga, which kind of makes up for poor aim. It auto-tracks bullets. It's a very defensive setup, as long as you pre-fire. Stag, if you die, you drop a rift, and your rifts give 5% damage resistance, and you get your rift more often. And then grenade to throw at your feet or chase down a kill or something like that. I typically won't suggest the strength version because they have to be like a high dexterity player to take use of it, to make use of it. Then we have the pulse rifle. Whenever someone is up close in a copper bracket, it is panic. They are the most comfortable away from points of interest with a long range weapon with very, very forgivable stats. And I don't know that Insidious really fits the bill, but it does have Demolitionist and Adrenaline Junkie. If I had to tell you what to use that was an arc element, go energy, arc, weapon, pulse rifle. This one's going to seem a little bit weird. Horror's Least is the one I think that aims the most for you. And you would probably run Steady Hands or Zen Moment, so you can switch to your Striga faster. And then your other perk would just be a consistency perk, like High Impact Reserves. I don't really think they're taking advantage of Kill Clip. The weapon I suggest the most is surprisingly the third Axiom. Just because this archetype is the most forgiving of all the pulse rifle archetypes, and then they could even elemental capacitors so they can get to their Striga faster. So that would be the upgrade to this for that copper bracket. I just don't own it. The other one would of course be Headseeker. Just remember, in copper, kill perks are not good. I'm just using this because I don't own it. And if it was a really close range map, I would try for Prosecutor Golden Tricorns. Auto Rifle Spray and Pray is also very popular in that skill bracket. So I think I've said enough on this. Here are the mods. Here are the fragments I chose. I did a little bit of a live commentary, so I hope you pick up some tips along the way. And then I debrief this loadout after. But overall, I don't really think this loadout hangs in the skill island bracket, the highest bracket in the game. You really, really struggle to have enough personal agency to make the plays that sway the game. That's my overall thoughts on it. So enjoy the commentary. See you in the next. This is Copper's strongest loadout. In the Copper ranks, this is what I think players think gets the most results because this is what I see as I climb up the ranks. So I'm going to try to give some tips on how to play this effectively. And the first thing is giving as many teammates as possible the Arc Soul buff, and just overall not trying to be a hero, especially since I have double primary. When you're getting chased, that's when you lay down Hellfire of Osteostriga. Want to keep popping in and out of the ADS to get your radar back. And don't get too tunnel visioned on one fight. I've been got by this gun before because... Oh, hold on. Good pulse nade opportunity. Because they fire the whole magazine. Like, the whole thing. I had a dead slide right there. Should have survived. But they all spawned on top of that flag, so I'm not actually, like, that disappointed with that. If the slide worked, I would have lived for an extra second, but it's fine. They probably still would have ran through 3 nades at me, you know. Still value, but... I also think the noobs use machine gun more than anything, which is valid. Like, machine gun's good, but usually their loadout already covers similar ranges of the machine gun when something like a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher would be, or even Eager Edge Sword. Let me go ahead and throw this down. Give 2 more Arc Souls. Just anchor for my team. When a rocket or grenade launcher would give them more options, more flexibility. If he chases the kill, I'm ready, even from the hip. Just so my radar is up. This is the worst angle in the entire game for me. If you're a new player or a low-skill player, I'm sorry, because what I'm about to explain might not make sense, but Peeker's advantage and slopes in this game. So float above as they chase in, put some Striga downrange. Want to always stay in cover and close angles from the opponent. He got dusted. Teammate wasn't aware. Let's drop this down. I can't shoot through my teammates, so I think I lose this. I almost made it to cover there. So a lot of this relies on your teammates doing the heavy lifting, which is obviously why it's not going my way. Because if I was doing the heavy lifting, I would get the job done more often than not. And then we throw a rift down for both of us to have arc souls. Teammate blocked me from leaving cover, or leaving into cover. Almost have a grenade back to cancel this power ammo for a few seconds. Now, only one person has it, and we know what he has. It's grenade launcher, so I want to keep my back away from a wall if possible. Osteostriga also announces my positions. That's not good for me. Dead slide. I hate that I keep being camped in this area, but it's just so advantageous. I just need my teammates to push a little bit forward for us to take advantage of me holding that down with a rift. And now here's the mirror version of that. I got shoved out of cover again by my teammate. Trying to slide to the right. There's too many of them. It's just not an advantageous fight. It's trying to set up a rift around the corner so we can 2v3 potentially. Good teams. Trying to be aware of what crossfires they have. And once again, I'm back in the same location. I just need the teammates to push up before we get hit by one grenade that blows us all up. Cancel this flag, even if I die. Fine. Because again, if 4 of them are focused on one thing, that means my teammates are potentially 4v1ing something else more important. Like C flag. Now we're going to hold inside control, which is great, so I don't have to be on those stairs anymore. But now this is my home. Fighting against the head glitch and trying to out-heal all of their damage. I don't have a grenade for this, so I'm going to have to use super. I think my super is worth them not being able to grab power ammo and run my team like 4 times in a row. Bo's going to swing in a sec. Remember what I said. They have a head glitch, but I have damage resist and healing. C now needs my help and my pulse grenade. If I get the kill with that pulse, it gives me adrenaline junkie times 5, which hits like a truck. I might as well just keep going. I can out DPS them as long as I hit headshots. Paying attention where this is. You'll hear a screech on your screen when he's close. There's our opportunity to flip the map, maybe get a cheeky free zone. Anytime someone's flying at me with aggression, I try to break line of sight and start pre-firing Osteostriga around the corner. Okay. Going to C now. Should be able to team shot 1 player at least. There we go. Orbs heal me. Now we Striga. He gets ripped. We get our zone. Now I have grenade to keep him back, to zone him out. Let's match my teammates' timing, if possible. Get out of the disadvantageous angle if possible. When sliding works, man, I just live, don't I? How did I live? If Spark of Instinct popped right there, he might have been half. I'll explain the snaking thing in a private match after this. They're going to be looking at that, right? So obvious that it's not even worth, like, putting myself in danger to grab it. Teammate just went down. That's terrible for me. I don't have a grenade to stop them, but I do have a melee that can go overhead to tag anybody who tries to grab the power. We want Striga. He's unaware, so I'm not shooting to let him know my position yet. That's fine. That's a shotgun anyway. Was trying to pinch somebody that my teammates were working on and then immediately turn around for that power ammo. Alright, so we know machine gun's still live. This is a bad angle to hold, so I'm switching. Even though I have antlers, they can see the antlers on this head glitch. Oh, gone. Oh, nice. AJ, Adrenaline Junkie's here. Gonna put some Striga and then strafe to the right to catch him as the Striga hits. Oh, that's Wish Ender. I'm dead to a cold snap. Lamau. Never mind. I meant like the damage of the cold snap. Not even the freeze. I aimed that slightly to the right so he'd walk into it. It's Wish Ender. I don't win that. I mean, I can fake it like this. On repeat. Oh, this is going to be a reversal. Watch melee as I strafe to the left. Striga and then cover to the right. Keep him weak. We only need one kill. It could be anybody. Got him. Oh, I could also throw my grenade to reload my gun. I need to remember that. So let's go to the private match. That is a classic match of control. A lot of my deaths were due to overzealously being a little bit too ahead and staying in the fight a little bit too long and expecting slides to get me out of them. Also, a little bit of teammate collision there was unfortunate. Alright, so now the advanced stuff. Snaking in FPS game is when there is like a hill, an upward slant that someone slides behind, and they have their head glitch, which means you can see just the tippy top of their forehead, combined with the speed of the slide, the network latency. Effectively, their bullets are shooting through the floor and they're not visible. And what makes it worse is they can see my antlers before I even register that they're there on top of all those advantages. So it's kind of wild how bad Stag can be for that reason. But for every other reason, Stag's good. That's just the biggest con. You know, I talked about that in the intro of this video. So this is the most advantageous angle to play with speed boots in the game. Just keep sliding that over and over again until you get your kill. You are effectively invisible on their screen, and they get hit by 1 or even 2 hand cannon hits before they realize what hit them. Past that, let's review this build now that I put a play session into it. I don't think this hangs at the higher ranks. I think this gets away with it in 6s because there are more players to take advantage of your Arc Souls. And the way the game is balanced, you're not always going to get the strongest teammates if you're typically the strongest player in your lobby. So Arc Souls mean that your teammates are landing damage mostly guaranteed by just putting a rift in a high traffic area. The Pulse Grenade is to counter Well of Radiance. And I have hit that multiple times this play session. I don't usually win against the well, but I neutralize the well so that 6 players can't stand in it. And like Moths to a Flame, my teammates go towards the well, thinking that they're the ones that are going to be the difference maker, and they get gone like an easy 15 combined kills by our opponents until the teammates understand that they cannot beat a well, or at least without a super. Pulse grenade allows me to diff my opponent, and then they panic well. I throw a pulse grenade at the sword, and then just dump a little bit of primary into that sword, and it's gone. Usually, I trade, or I die and don't even get the kill, but the well is neutralized. And so that's a huge W for my team. Next one is Spark of Instinct. When you're critically wounded, it just does like 15 damage in a circle near you, and it's amazing. I normally would play the Lightning Surge. I know someone in the comment section would say that. However, this is for a low skill player bracket in competitive, the copper bracket. They're not going to have the sense to, or dexterity to use these like fast motions back to back. They might occasionally get a triple, but it's more likely that their grenade panic button is way better than making an offensive play. In other words, defensive playstyles are what rules in copper. Things that help you or aim for you are good in copper because they're not high dexterity players. When you have Lightning Surge, you can slide out, see if there's 3 people looking at you. Oh no, I can't win that. I'm too far away. You flick to the right, you send your Lightning Surge, and you're in cover. That's why it's good for high dexterity players. Occasionally, though, the low skill players will pull off a triple with it, so maybe it's worth speccing into. It's not like I expect them to counter a well either. This is just my interpretation of this loadout that dominates the lower skill brackets in this game. Now, Stag can be used at a high skill level, just not necessarily with this build and with this loadout. Like, double primary, its biggest weakness is I just can't deal with shotguns. And there's shotguns everywhere. They might as well be infinite special ammo when there's team balancing in the game and they get to farm your teammates to get effectively infinite special ammo because your teammates are in a special situation, you are the special situation, and they have infinite amounts of that. So that is why I think I need a shotgun in order to play this setup better, or a fusion rifle or something like that. If I had to augment this for higher skill, I would probably still stick to Arc Souls, but I would switch to Lightning Surge, crank this up to 100 strength, and then try a setup that gets me amplified very consistently. Has to be an arc weapon for double kills, so maybe Cantata hand cannon with conditional finality, or maybe my Heritage Hipfire shotgun with something else. That's how I would augment this, and if I'm anchoring for a team, if it's a bigger map, it would probably be Dead Man's Tail and just a Matador or something like that. That's how I would augment this. Osteostriga like has some moves if you're a good Lion Rampant Titan or a very, very mobile Stompy Hunter or something like that, maybe even a Dawnblade. Osteostriga can be good, but when you have low handling, low mobility, and you're stationary, Osteostriga is really easy to deal with. However, the low skill players in Copper that spam the entire magazine without pausing, that is really difficult for me to read. Because if you're a high skill player versus a high skill player, you don't want to dump the whole magazine, because the second they hear that you have to reload, this downtime means that they're pushing up right now. There's like, you know, half second they could just slide towards you and start closing the gap. And when you repeak, they're a slide away with the shotgun. So the way to guarantee that you put chip damage on them is to shoot a couple shots, stop. They might think you're reloading, be awkward with your timing, and then shoot again. And then if you're playing against a sniper, you definitely don't want to just be landing like this. They'll eat a couple Striga shots and you'll still get domed. So you probably want to hip fire these and strafe around just a little bit so that it offsets when they peak to shoot your stream of bullets. This is why Sweet Business Titans get ripped. So I would do something like this. And reposition. That's what I would do. And then if they chase you, do a vantage point again. You can rift up, play Fortress. If they're chasing you, jump back, keep spraying this as you get to cover, and use it to create space. Use it until you have your grenade cooldown back. And when you have your grenade cooldown, then you can be a little bit more offensive. I put the burst down. I know they're weak behind cover. So what I do is I would throw the grenade right here. As I jump outward, And that takes away some cover from them while I'm creating distance. And I can just spray the Striga again while working into the next fight. My eyes are glued to the radar because I'm using Osteo Striga. I don't actually have to aim with this thing very much. Yes, at a distance, like I believe that there was a Arc Warlock super flying around the corner. I am subtly moving my crosshair to the right to anticipate their movement so that more of the bolts of this Needler hit them. So anyway, combination of mobility, handling, verticality, etc., some defensiveness. That's what you need to make Osteo Striga work at a high level. But at Copper, this dominates because, again, nobody else can aim, and this kind of aims for you. It makes sense to me. So this was a strange one to review, but I think I did it justice. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section what you think the most popular or most effective loadout is for your current skill level, whatever you think that is, on a scale of 1 to 10. Be like, I'm a 3 out of 10 player, Osteo Striga gets me the comp reward every season, like, something like that. I'm just very, very curious because I'm over here in my own bubble, and it's very, very rare I run into a Copper player out in the wild, but recently, when I had to remake an account or a free-to-play guide or something like that, I'll run into them for a couple games, and I'm not even exaggerating. If you just do this motion right here, slide out, slide in, slide out, that's the entire team's magazine, and they probably didn't even land damage on you. It's like, it's that jarring of a difference, dexterity difference between gamers, which is fine. Everybody starts from somewhere. You don't all have to be the best, most highly skilled, dexterous gamers, high on caffeine or whatever, G Fuel. Like, it's fine. You can play casually. But I hope you picked up some tips today. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see y'all in the next.